Yo, what is going on? Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Right now for me, I don't know if you can see what that says. 2:54 in the morning. Never woke up this early in my life before, and I'm going to go catch a flight to Argentina. But as I do this, I just wanted to shoot this video of the three things I did in order to get out of the rut that I was in last Saturday, which was 3 days ago. The three steps that I took to get myself out of this rut, start feeling and start expressing myself and start being uninhibited and clear my mind, because just last Saturday I was spending time with my family and I felt very full. Like felt like my head was almost redlining. It was hard to read. Like I would see words on paper and I could read them in my mind, but it was hard to comprehend in my brain. Like it just felt like my brain was like no more information is going in. I felt so full. So what I did to get myself out of this full state, so I can be present, so I can be grounded, so I can feel emotions now, so I can feel joy and not just block everything off. All right, so I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into what the situation was like, and I'll see you at the airport. Yo, so I'm at the airport now. I got my coffee, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what the situation was like and what conspired this to happen. So, a few days ago, I was feeling this emotion that normally I second guess myself a lot when I feel. Um, an emotion of uncertainty of what to do, because both outcomes that I envisioned would hurt, and one outcome hurt me for sure, short term, and didn't give me that instant pleasure. And another outcome would hurt me long term, and it would give me more instant pleasure. But I was stuck in this limbo of not knowing what to do. When in reality, I knew what to do. I just didn't want to face it. So when I was feeling these emotions that I didn't want to face, and it was unbearable to navigate the world, it felt like inside of this uncertainty, there was only one option left, and it was to hide from these emotions. The only way to hide is to distract yourself. So I was getting pulled to social media, I was getting pulled to YouTube, I was getting pulled to like every way to distract myself from the reality that I was living in with the emotions that I was feeling. And the thing is, when you are hiding from those emotions and you're distracting yourself from your reality of your certain emotions, that's where your energy goes. Your energy goes into repressing. And that doesn't allow you to express yourself fully. Because when 90% of your energy is in holding back and making sure these emotions don't come up, because you were so good at distracting yourself, that when you're in interaction now and there's no distraction, your energy has to be put into holding these emotions down. You can't express yourself fully. So I was at um, this family gathering, and I couldn't express myself fully because I was distracting myself from my emotions, and that made me not be able to express other emotions too, because all my energy was repressing. And this is the state so many people who stutter get into, is we distract ourselves from our emotions, and we don't allow ourselves to express fully. And so that was the state that I was at. And there was three main things that I did in order to get out of this funk, gain the courage to feel my emotions, and gain the courage to make a decision to change my life. And I'll get into those three decisions next, inside the next airport. Peace. Okay, so I know I said I was gonna finish it in the airport, but the flights got so messed up and I just forgot about it. I didn't really forget about it. I remembered it, but it was just like the flights were so messed up that I'm like, all right, when I get settled in Argentina, I'm gonna finish this video, and that's what I'm gonna do now. So I finished by saying there was three main things that I had to do to get myself out of this rut, out of this rut of being so full of my own shit and not feeling like deep emotions. To get myself out of this rut where I was just kind of cruising in autopilot took three main things. The first thing that you must do in order to get out of this rut is to analyze like exactly where you're at. So this is the time for you to be so fucking brutally honest with yourself and get a sense of disgust. You must get a sense of disgust. Without this sense of disgust, of like, fuck, I cannot keep living here as I'm living. What is it going to lead to? What if I continue living this way for the rest of my life? What if I continue living this way for tomorrow? Like, who am I going to be then? You're not going to like the fucking answer, so you have to get a sense of disgust that you cannot keep living the same way. With that sense of disgust, to make a goal, to give yourself a purpose of how you're going to get out of this. Like, who do you want to become? How do you want to show up? Really create this sense of purpose, all right? So the very first step is getting a sense of disgust. I had to be like, I had to feel gross about myself. And through that pain of feeling gross about myself came the motivation to take the first step. All right? You must get that ugh feeling. The second thing I have down here, it's fucking, you know what? I'll go to the third thing first. The third thing second. The third thing is then to make a decision. A decisive decision, left or right, up or down, front or back. Like, yes or no. Because this is how you get caught in this shit, is through indecisiveness, is through not making a clear decision, and now you're caught in a fucking limbo. It's going to be scary. It's going to be scary to say definite yes or definite no. And you might not ever feel like one answer is the right answer. But one answer is the right answer. And which answer is that? Whichever one you make fucking decisive. That's it. Whichever answer you make decisive, and it's coming from your heart, not from fears or anxiety. It's coming from your heart, what you know to be best. Even if you're avoiding the truth of it, deep down you know you should do something, you know the right answer. That's the right answer. And it might be painful, and it might cause you days of suffering. But it's the right answer because it gives you clarity in your life. You're no longer caught in this limbo. And you will get over it. I promise you. Everything will be all right in the end. And if it's not all right now, then it's not the end. Okay? Everything will be all right. Make a decisive decision coming from your heart. The best heart decision possible. And you may be fucking wrong. It may have been a decision you made out of fear. But you would have never learned that if you didn't make the wrong decision. Staying in indecisive land is fatal. It's doing you no good. Make a fucking decision, okay? So the first one is create goals and get disgusted about yourself. Number 2 is actually make a fucking decision. And number 3, you may not be expecting it, or you may be, but it's to actually get a sense of connection. connect with something. It's awesome if you can get a sense of connection with a person, but you can also just refill your sense of connection with other things. For example, we by nature are already good enough to feel connected to other people. But what stops us from feeling connection is doubt, is anxiety, is fear, are these negative thoughts. So in order to feel connected to everything, even walking down the street feeling connected to people, what stops you from doing that are these negative emotions. So in order to start letting go of these negative emotions, we need to fucking feel them. And we need to let go of them. So what I did is I put myself in nature for 2 hours. I just walked around, I sat, I breathed without my phone. I left that shit at home. Without my phone. And I was in nature. I had nothing. It was raining and it was pouring and I was soaked, but I was like, I need this. It made me feel everything. And I didn't come back home and I was fucking Jesus, but I was more clear. And I now had more space to connect with other people. And building that momentum of having a more connection-filled conversation as my first conversation allowed me to be like, oh, this feels fucking good. I want more of this. I want more connection. And it allowed me to create momentum for me to feel my emotions again without needing to hide from it. And these three things in synchronicity, like getting disgusted with yourself and making a plan of where you want to go, making a decisive decision, yes or no, whatever that may be. It may be in work, relationships, friendships, family, school, whatever, yes or no. And then getting that sense of connection, so clearing out the fog, allowing yourself to feel your emotions. What do you have to do to put yourself in a space where you allow yourself to feel? All right? Without a doubt, this is the surefire way to get yourself out of this rut. And now, this rut for me was only a few days tops, right? It was only a few days tops. But this shit used to last years. Like, I was living in a rut for years. And it was not enjoyable. And I know many, like all of my clients that have come to me, they come to me because they're in a rut. They have been for years, maybe decades. And they can't figure out how to truly express themselves how they desire. They can't figure out the code, the system to allow your true authenticity to show. As a byproduct, overcoming your stutter. And if this is you, if you feel stuck, and if you're in a rut, and you want to overcome your stutter, and you want to speak naturally how you already can, then look at the closest link down below in the description. I am having free one-on-one calls where I analyze your situation. I see where you're at, I see what your goals are, and I see if I would be able to help you, and I provide you with a plan of if we were to work together, what exactly that would look like. So if you're interested in seeing how I can help you, if I can help you, then click the closest link down below in the description, and you can book your free one-on-one call with me. Okay, I love you. I hope this was helpful. Peace.